Hey, Rico Too Smooth. Interview in the books.
Tap in.
Appreciate you, man. That was fire.
Yes, sir.
My guy. It's that dirty Sprite, Ross.
Yeah, man.
That's a deuce. I can't even show you the cool hardcore lean.
Yep,
shit.
that's a deuce right there.
Deuce, I am landing. I'm landing the
The
link.
cool hardcore lean. You to take this and leave it like this.
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, I did a Dirk interview years ago. Yeah. When he still needed an interview. Yeah, like 2018, I think I did it. Whereas now, like, Academics gets one, and it's like this legendary big deal. At the time, it didn't feel like the biggest deal. He was still kind of like a regular rapper then. Now he's like elevated.
What was the worst interview you ever did?
I mean, the one that comes to mind is when I interviewed Boom.
Boom, get home. I can't see no sense. Oh, I got you out.
And he shows up and he's like blackout drunk or on pills. We had an agreement for him to do an interview, but we're live. I can't get him to not come on camera. I keep telling him, no, I'm not interviewing you like this. And he's like, come, we're gonna do it. And then he sits down, he does this interview. It's so fucking stupid. It's just him repeating himself over and over. And then when he gets up to leave, he fucking collapses and smashes his forehead on the wall. And like, I'm in Hawaii the next week and some fucking waiter is like, I loved when that guy passed out in his head on the wall. I'm like,
How do you go from building one of the most influential platforms in hip-hop to becoming the very person the culture stops respecting? Because this wasn't just a fall off. This was a slow public collapse, filled with moments that kept getting worse. And the craziest part, most of it didn't happen to him. It happened because of him. Adam didn't come from hip-hop. No street background, no industry cosign, nothing. He was just a guy from New Hampshire who started out in BMX culture, running a small brand and posting content online. But around 2015, he saw something nobody else was paying attention to: the SoundCloud wave. While the industry ignored it, he leaned all the way in. He started interviewing underground artists before they blew up, posting their content, giving them a platform when nobody else would. And it worked. Names that would later dominate the scene were sitting on his couch early. Views started stacking. The channel grew fast. For a moment, he cracked the code. But even then, there was always a feeling like he didn't fully belong. And eventually, that feeling turned into something louder. At its peak, the platform was printing money. We're talking massive monthly revenue from YouTube, Patreon, and Facebook, all hitting at once. Then the pandemic hit, and instead of slowing down, everything exploded. Views doubled, sometimes tripled, content was everywhere. So he made a decision that would come back to haunt him. He went all in, a massive studio, a huge team, multiple shows, big personalities. The idea was simple: more content equals more money. And for a while, it worked, until it didn't. Because when the world opened back up, the views dropped, the revenue dipped, but the expenses, they stayed exactly the same. And now, the numbers didn't add up anymore. Around this time, something else started shifting: the content. It slowly moved away from music and deeper into drama. More controversy, more chaos, more moments that felt uncomfortable. And people noticed. There were interviews that went viral for the wrong reasons. Guests clearly not in the right state. Questions that pushed too far. Situations that felt less like documenting culture and more like exploiting it. Then came the moment that changed everything: the decision to platform someone connected to a major tragedy. The backlash was immediate. People weren't just anymore. They were done. And the label that had been floating around for years suddenly stuck for good. But none of that compared to what happened next. Because this time, it wasn't about the audience. It was about someone close to him. During an episode, a deeply private situation involving one of his co-hosts was exposed on camera. Unexpected, personal, way out of line. And when that co-host asked him not to release it, he dropped it anyway. That one decision changed everything. What followed wasn't just an argument, it was a complete breakdown of trust. Things got heated, then personal, then ugly. Lines were crossed that you can't come back from. And everyone watching saw it clearly. This wasn't just content anymore. This was betrayal. After that, the fallout was inevitable. One by one, key members of the platform started leaving. Not quietly either. Publicly, clearly, done for good. These weren't random people. They were the personalities that gave the platform life, the chemistry, the energy, the reason people kept watching, and just like that, it was gone. What replaced it didn't feel the same. The conversations felt forced, the moments felt manufactured, and the audience could tell. But that wasn't even the lowest point. Not even close. Because then, things got personal and public. Decisions in his private life suddenly became internet-wide content. What was framed as a business move quickly turned into one of the most talked about situations online. Clips went viral everywhere, memes flooded timelines, and the narrative, it completely flipped. Instead of being seen as a platform builder, he became the joke. Then came the fight. It looked like a comeback moment, a chance to take control of the story again, to reset the narrative, to remind people why the platform mattered in the first place. For a brief second, it felt possible. But then it ended almost immediately, and somehow, that made everything worse. Because now the conversation wasn't just about criticism anymore, it became embarrassment. Public embarrassment. The kind that spreads across the internet in minutes and gets replayed over and over again. People weren't debating whether mistakes had been made. They were mocking the collapse in real time. And once the internet turns something into a joke, it's hard to recover from that. At that point, the issues were no longer just public relations problems. The situation had become financial too. A crypto-related controversy started raising serious questions online. People accused the entire thing of being misleading. Some called it reckless, others flat out called it a setup. Whether those claims were fully true or not almost stopped mattering. The damage to the reputation was already happening. Then came the lawsuits. Legal expenses started piling up. And when legal pressure hits a struggling media business, things can spiral fast. Revenue streams that once kept everything running suddenly started disappearing. Accounts vanished. Partnerships dried up. Income dropped hard while the expenses stayed high. So cuts had to happen. Staff members were let go. Assets started getting sold off. And for the first time, the reality of the situation was being admitted publicly. The business wasn't just facing controversy anymore, it was struggling to survive. Badly, but strangely enough, the final blow wasn't really about money, it was about trust. Because once audiences, guests, and even people inside the industry stop believing in the vision, everything else starts collapsing right after it. It was about perception. Connections to legal situations started surfacing around people tied to the platform. And that created a completely different kind of pressure. Not the normal internet drama, not rap beef, something heavier. Guests stopped talking, not completely, but enough for people to notice. Conversations that once felt loose and authentic suddenly became cautious. You could hear it in the pauses, see it in the body language. Questions got dodged, topics got redirected. People who used to speak freely now sounded like they were calculating every sentence before saying it out loud. The energy changed. The platform that once thrived on raw, unfiltered conversations now felt tense, careful, almost risky. And once that kind of perception settles into the public mind, it spreads fast. Because in media, reputation is everything. The second people start associating a platform with controversy, investigations, or dangerous connections, the atmosphere changes whether the claims are true or not. Sponsors notice, artists notice, industry people notice, and eventually, the audience notices too. That's what made the downfall feel so strange to watch, because at one point, this platform genuinely helped shape an entire era of hip-hop media. It gave underground artists exposure before the major outlets paid attention. It created moments people still talk about today. It felt important, like it was building a new lane outside the traditional industry system. People respected that. But little by little, things started slipping. One controversy turned into another. One bad decision led to another headline. Relationships collapsed. Trust faded, and the image that once made the platform powerful slowly started working against it. Not overnight. That's what makes stories like this complicated. Most platforms don't collapse in one moment. They unravel slowly, until one day people look around and realize the energy that made it special is gone, but in a way that everyone could see happening in real time. So now the question is simple. Was this just bad luck, or was it always heading here? Based on the choices that were made. Because depending on how you see it, this isn't just a story about one person. It's a blueprint. And maybe that's the biggest lesson in all of this. Not just how quickly success can disappear, but how fast everything can flip when the wrong decisions start stacking up. Because in the internet era, every move gets documented. Every controversy leaves a trail. And once the damage reaches a certain point, there's no editing it out. No easy reset, no pretending it never happened. The reputation changes, the energy changes, and sometimes the entire legacy changes with it. So now the real question is, can a platform like this ever fully recover once trust is gone, or does the internet eventually move on and leave it behind for good? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown.